Hello. Hi everyone, I am back. I hope you are all doing well during these difficult times. So, in this video, I am actually just going to talk about some of the TV shows I have been watching during lockdown, or not really lockdown, COVID-19, pretty much since March, and give a little brief description of what they are and why I like them. That is all my video, and I wanted to keep it pretty simple in that aspect. So we'll go on to that. Alright, so I actually have my book here with a list of things I actually have watched during lockdown, so I do not forget them because it's bound to have happened. It also has a bunch of other video ideas, but we won't go into that. So, starting my list. So the first one I'll actually mention is The Order. So that, I watched that quite early in COVID, I think. It was a little while back. It was the most recent season. I'm not 100% sure what season that was. I will have to look that up. Okay, so The Order is only 2 seasons so far. For some reason, I thought it was more. It felt like more, but it has not been. It's only been 2 seasons. And it is about when Belgrave University student Jack Morton joins a fabled secret society, the Hermetic Order of the Blue Rose. He is thrust into a world of magic, monsters, and intrigue. Out to avenge his mother's death, he uncovers dark family secrets and lands in an underground battle being waged between werewolves and practitioners of dark magic. So I'll just virtually say that. And just to list some of the main characters, it's got Sarah Gray, who plays Alyssa Drake, and Jake Manley, who plays Jack Morton. I'll just name those two. They're the main two, really. There are other characters, but you should look that up on IMDb so I don't take up the whole video listing cast. Now, the reason for why I like this show. It is a fantasy show, and I do like fantasies. They make me feel like I am in a different world, which I guess is the purpose. It has some good characters and good relationships, a fair bit of drama and shock in some parts. I just genuinely like it. It is, I guess, based around people similar to my age. I have gone to university, although not like this one at all. But, you have similar circumstances, relations, I don't know, that sort of thing. So there's that show. The second one I will list is Killing Eve. Now, Killing Eve, it's been a while since it started. Not as long as, like, Doctor Who, but, it's been a while. It is an ongoing series. It has not finished completely yet. So, don't expect to binge watch the whole show and finish it, because it will not happen. But I think I finished the most recent season I think it was in COVID. I'm really hoping I'm listing it anyway, but I did finish it at least this year, earlier this year. And I actually watched from the first season. I had kind of watched on and off because my parents had watched it before and had been over when they had watched it, but hadn't really got to see every episode, so I didn't really get an attachment to it. But it is a very good show. I will give you a quick brief about it from Google because it's better at describing than me. Okay, so it is 3 seasons so far. So it really hasn't been that long. It started in 2018, so it's a fairly new show. Oi! Light up! Sorry. My cat's scratching carpet. Anyway, Eve's life as a spy is not adding up to what she had hoped it would be when she started. She is very bored, very smart, M15 security, MI5? M15 security officer who is very desk bound. Villanelle is a very talented killer, mercurial in mood, who clings to the luxuries of her job. Eve and Villanelle go head to head in a fierce game of cat and mouse, each woman equally obsessed with the other, as Eve is tasked with hunting down the psychopathic assassin. So that really, I mean, it describes it well, I guess, but at the same time it doesn't. I don't know. It's like drama, action, comedy in a way. Like, it's quite comedic in parts. I really like the character of Villanelle, but I do really like the relationship between Eve and Villanelle. I am kind of going into why I like this, I have realized. But yeah, so why I like it, I really do like the character Villanelle. I love her outfits. I would wear a lot of them, even though some of them are quite out there in some circumstances. I really like the relationship between Eve and Villanelle, and the intense nature of that relationship. I think it's very different from a lot of relationships, especially between two female characters and between, I guess, criminal, assassin, and cop. So it is a very good show. It has only gone for 3 seasons so far, but it'll keep going. Yeah, I highly recommend it. It is very good. I don't know what else to say about it. It is just good. I will let you know who it has in it. So it's got Jodie Comer as Villanelle, and Sandra Oh as Eve Polastri. Polastri. It's on Stan in Australia. I'm not sure, but I think it's also on live TV here. So yeah, it's definitely on live TV. So I'm not sure what it is everywhere else in the world, but keep that in mind. Yeah, it's just really good to watch and great acting and very interesting. The next one is The Casketeers. Now this is a lot different from the other shows I've just mentioned. This is like it's really lifestyle. It's is it? I don't know. Sometimes you're not sure what to call things. It is based in New Zealand, and it is a New Zealand show. It is about a funeral director and company and so on. They do the whole jazz, I guess. And it just follows their day-to-day life in the funeral home in New Zealand. And yeah, it's pretty much that. It is a comedy, even though it doesn't seem like it is. It's like comedic, but sad and morbid in many levels. So that's one. Oh my god. Sorry, that is my dad. So the reason I like this show is, yeah, it represents New Zealand, which I don't really represents, maybe not the right word, but it does represent showcases New Zealand culture, Maori culture in a lot of aspects, at least in their funerals. I can't say everything else, but it showcases that a lot because they mainly deal in Maori funerals. They do show some islands and specific islander funerals, so on, but predominantly Maori, and not as many like. Why does he keep? You rang me before. I'm trying to film.
If you want to put in for McDonald's, you get McDonald's for tea.
Okay.
What would you like?
Ooh. I would like a. Oh. What do I want? Oh God. I'll have a veggie burger. A McVeggie.
A McVeggie meal.
Large chips and a large chocolate thick shake, please. It showcases Maori, traditional Maori funerals predominantly. It doesn't really show the showcases Maori funerals is all I'm trying to say, and not so much like Western funerals. So there's that. It is funny. The main guy in it is quite funny, and it is quite a funny show. It's just, it is morbid in a lot of circumstances because it does show, I guess, dead hands and so on. And there's a lot of crying people, and it's just sad in a lot of ways because it is based on people's funerals and they are real people that have died. They don't show faces, so that's fine. But, you know, there's that. That's all I wanted to say. Finally, I got it out. Okay. By the way, it has in it, and I'm going to massacre the name, so, like, I'm just saying that now because, yeah. I don't necessarily remember how to pronounce them. And it is 2 seasons. So, it has Kyra Tippany and Frances Tippany. Frances, I know how to pronounce the woman, I'm not 100% sure. Now, the other show I actually binge watched in one night. So that was Pride and Prejudice, the 95 miniseries. It was a BBC miniseries. Now that was very good. I really liked it. I had seen one or 2 episodes like in high school, but then I just didn't watch it. So I'll go into what it's about, but I imagine most people will know, but you never know. Elizabeth Bennet is a strong-willed yet sensible young woman. At a local ball, she encounters a wealthy young man, Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy, who is arrogant, and they develop an unusual relationship. That's all it says. So, as I said, yes, this was in 95, and it has the cast. I'll name the first 2, the main ones. So, Colin Firth as Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy, or Mr. Darcy, and Jennifer Eel, or Elle, as Elizabeth Bennet. Now, the reason for liking this show, well, it's a classic book at least, and it's something that's been done at least 2 times that I know of. I'm sure it's been more in, like, there was the show and then it was the 2005 movie. The 2005 movie potentially is more famous. So the 95 version is across 6 episodes, so I feel like you get to explore the storyline a bit more thoroughly than in like a movie length feature. The characters are very good and the casting is quite good. Not as many, I guess, there's still a fair few well-known people, but maybe it's just not as well-known as, you know, the 2005 version. Yeah, and it's quite funny in a lot of circumstances, like the mum's quite funny, the dad's quite funny. And it's quite relatable in many ways, at least as a woman. Obviously, I'm not quite in those times at all. I'm glad of that, but you know, it really showcases the struggles of women or young women, or women in general, I guess, in those times. Next one is Mad as Hell. Now, this is on ABC in Australia. I don't know the access to it in other countries. Probably not as relevant at all to other countries, so it's probably more of an Australian one, let's be real. It focuses more on Australian politics. It's like a... So comedian Sean McAuliffe, so it's also known as Sean McAuliffe's Mad as Hell. And other hosts present satirical takes, that's the word, and sketches on global news and current affairs. A lot of it is Sean McAuliffe as the host, and he has guests on, which are pretty much actors that act as certain people, political people, or sometimes they're just stereotypes, I guess, and act like a talk sort of news show where they make fun of politics or political characters and so on, and like the stupid things they have said or lies they've made, or like the injustices of their political careers or whatever. I don't know, I'm trying to describe this, but yeah, it's very satirical and comedic. It's not meant to be taken in a overly serious manner. I mean, there are serious topics, don't get me wrong, but it's all very satirical and funny. So there's that one, and that's kind of, was I saying that was why I liked it? But that is why I like it, I guess, as well. It is relevant, at least as an Australian, probably not for other people, but you might find it funny, I don't know. And it is on free to air TV, so that's better. And to an extent, it doesn't have ads, so haha. And although it has fake ads, I don't know if you count that. But yeah, it is quite a good show, and if you're into politics or Australian politics, it's probably a good one to watch. Unless you are like really right wing, then probably don't. Moving on. That has Sean McAuliffe. I don't think I need to really list the characters in that one. So there is Hard Quiz that is run by Tom Gleeson. It is a quiz show where contestants come on with like specific topics that they're passionate about or know a lot about, which you're usually passionate about, I guess. And they verse each other, and it's a quiz show, so you can buzz in and steal other people's questions with your answer, and your points go up and down depending. It's quite comedic because it's got Tom Gleeson, who is a comedian, as the host, and some of the people go on there are quite funny, and yeah, it's quite interesting to learn about all these random topics that people know about. Some are really random. Yeah, so that is a good show, and then you win the big brass mug, which is what it is. I don't know if I need to explain it. So another series I watched recently was On the Source, which is by Sean McAuliffe. He just journeys around Australia, and sometimes just locally, to explore the drinking culture in Australia, which, if you don't know, is quite a big thing here. You'll have beers barbecues, alcohol barbecues, beers at the footy, you'll have drinks at parties, drinks at get-togethers, drinks at friends, drinks at families, drinks at festivals, I don't know, there's drinks everywhere. So it is a big thing here, and it can be quite a disastrous thing for a lot of people and for the emergency system, which he does explore in it, and how packed it can get in like Friday nights and so on. Yeah, but I really like that because it does explore it so much, and the effects it has on society and the different regions around that have it, and the effects they have on those, and like youth musters and so on and so forth. I'm actually dying. Alright, I am back, and I am so full after dinner. I'm sorry I had to eat dinner, but yeah. Okay, back to my list. So, Good Girls is another show I have been watching, or had been watching. So that came out in 2018 as well, my lord. Like half these I feel like came out in 2018. Probably a bit of an exaggeration, but it's how I feel. So that is 3 seasons. Common occurrence here. And it stars Christina Hendricks as Beth Boland, Mae Whitman as Annie Marks, and Retta as Ruby Hill. It just says Retta. I don't know why. Anyway, so when sisters Beth and Annie and their best friend Ruby become fed up with playing by the rules and not getting the respect they deserve, they band together to take control of their lives by holding up a grocery store. Beth's the perfect wife and mother, but her used car dealing, cheating husband has sent her family into financial ruin. Ruby is happily married to a policeman but can't afford the medical bills and experimental drugs to help her daughter, and Annie, a single mum, is caught in a nasty custody battle with her ex. In desperate need of money, the women plan the heist expecting to ease their financial burdens. But new to the game of crime, they get pulled in deeper than they ever imagined. So, the reason why I like this show, okay. It is funny. Let's start that. It's one of those shows where I instantly liked it and was really interested in it. So because it was funny, there were great characters, they had interesting relationships with each other, they had gotten themselves into such a stressful situation, I guess. Like the first episode, I'm pretty sure. The first episode, I swear it was very early on. And over the seasons, they get deeper and deeper into that crime world, I guess, and they don't really want to be, most of them. One of the characters actually reminds me a bit of Heisenberg from Breaking Bad. Just, not overly much, but just in the way that they seem to get deeper and deeper into that crime and don't really want to leave it, I guess. They just start doing questionable moves and actions, and it becomes more about the feeling they get with it rather than just like what they need out of it, like the money. So yeah, good show. It is on Netflix and I greatly advise you watch it. Very funny. So now we're heading to the last ones. Actually, yeah, the last two. This is a classic. You probably will all know this. I'd imagine you will. Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Now, a little late to the game. Yes, I admit it. Quite late, considering it came out in the 90s. But, I just started watching it and I finished it. I finished it all. Binged it all. Now, what do I do with my life? I do not know. I started watching it a little bit with my sister-in-law, and then I watched it. I decided I wanted to watch it fully from start to finish, not miss out on episodes. I started doing that, and then my parents joined on, and then we watched it together. So I will give you a brief description yet again. It will be Google. It really doesn't say much. Buffy Summers tries to live a normal life in high school while embracing her responsibilities and destiny as a hunter of vampires and demons. Okay, so that really cuts it short, doesn't it? There's a lot more to it than that, but that is the idea. She is the vampire slayer. So it is her destiny to slay vampires and monsters alike. And it does follow her from high school into uni, essentially, and her best friends. And it is a really good show. It started in 97, the year I was born, and goes for 7 seasons. So, yeah, it was a lot of seasons, but I still finished them all. They went for like 22-ish episodes each, 22, 23 episodes. That was a lot of hours I watched, I realised. But I went through them. It was very good. I will explain why later. Oh my god. Don't make this easy. Lila, come in. Hurry up. Hurry up then. Come on. I'll finally go. Anyway, so it has in it the main character, who is Buffy, and I don't know. I feel like this is pointless telling you all because you'll probably know, is Sarah Michelle Gellar. And then, I don't know, do I like it? I'll just list her 2 friends and we'll go with that. Alison Hannigan as Willow Rosenberg and Nicholas Brendan as Xander Harris. There's a lot of other characters that come in and out, or main characters. I'm not going to list them all. This isn't what this is about. So, reason why I liked it. Now, I didn't really know if I would like it. It never really paid me. Well, I never really was interested in it. I had heard my friends talk about it a lot, and relatives, not many relatives, but some relatives. Yeah, but it wasn't until my sister-in-law started watching it that I really was like, okay, actually, I'm kind of interested. And I don't know why I didn't think I would be. Like, I'm into that sort of stuff, so I don't know. But I just really liked the character of Buffy Summers. Relatable, I feel. She was just like a normal person. She had superpowers, but she wasn't unrelatable. Her friendships were relatable. All the characters were really good characters. Both old and young. A lot was happening. Like each episode had different stuff happening, either different creatures or so on. Towards the later seasons, I think it was more, I don't know, like one big. Well, there was always like a big bad of some form. Not there was one called the Big Bad, but yeah. But it generally had a different storyline in a way each episode, and the base characters that went through those. And yeah, it was good to see how. I don't want to give spoilers if you haven't seen. Relationships occurred where you wouldn't expect them to occur. It had a lot more adult related content, I guess, than like what I would have first thought about it. So it was a lot more relatable than I expected, and a lot more interesting to my age bracket and older age brackets, and I guess different age brackets in general. But yeah, I really liked virtually all the characters. There's some that I wasn't as keen. I could always go into that in a different video about what characters I liked and disliked. I mean, sure, there's people that would disagree, but yeah, but I just really liked it, and I would advise watching it. I think it's worth a watch just to see, because you never know. And you've got a whole 7 seasons you can go through, so you won't run out for a while. So that's always a plus. And if you don't binge, you'll be going for a long time. So good show. I would advise. It is on, it's on Stan, and I don't know. I know it's on Stan. That's where I watched it. It's probably on something else or on DVD. I don't know. Give it a go. And the last one. Now, not everyone's going to like it. I mean, it's a good show. It's not like it's bad. It's just because it is in subtitles, or you can have the dubbed version, but I hate dubbed versions so much, and I would advise against them tremendously. Anyway, it is the series called Money Heist. Okay, so this is Spanish. So if you don't like subtitles, I mean, I would advise you to watch it, but if you're really against subtitles, I don't know if there's a point. You could try the dubbed version. I haven't watched the dubbed version. My opinion on dubs are pretty low, so but I will give you a little synopsis. Okay, so this is 4 seasons longer, but I only just started watching it this year. I had heard about it, well, it wasn't that long ago, but yeah, it wasn't until later in the year I started to watch it. So, okay. It came out in 2017, earlier than a lot, but I, yet again, hadn't heard of it. Might have taken a while to get here. I don't know. A criminal mastermind who goes by the Professor has a plan to pull off the biggest heist in recorded history, to print billions of euros in the Royal Mint of Spain. To help him carry out the ambitious plan, he recruits 8 people with certain abilities and who have nothing to lose. The group of thieves take hostages to aid in the negotiations with the authorities, who strategize to come up with a way to capture the Professor. As more time elapses, the robbers prepare for a showdown with the police. Okay, it was probably, I mean, I don't like ranking shows, but it was, I'd say my favourite show this year that I watched. Yeah. I mean, I did like all the shows, but this one really got me, I think. it was in subtitles. Usually, although I don't really mind watching in subtitles. Sometimes I'm like, eh. But by the end of it, to be honest, I didn't even notice the subtitles. Like, obviously I did have to read them, but like, I don't know. It was like virtually the Spanish was just being translated in my head. But yeah, really great show. I will actually tell you the name of the characters. I don't know who to list. There's a lot of main characters. I don't know. Okay, we'll just list. Oh no, there's so many. Oh. Okay, well, the professor. I'm gonna pronounce some of these wrong because they're all in Spanish. Elvira Mote, the professor. Ursula Cubero is Tokyo. Itzia Ituno is Raquel Murillo. Alba Flores is Nairobi. Jamie Lorente is Denver. Pedro Alonso is Berlin. Miguel Herren is Rio. Esther Acebo plays Monica Gazdenby. Dubai. Philly. Darko Peric plays Helsinki, and yeah, then and Paco Tus plays Moscow. Okay, I really recommend this show. It is so great. Like, the reasons I like it is it's intense, it's suspenseful, it's got great characters, great storylines, great plot, great just planning in general, great script, great music. I don't know, the amount of times I listen to this one particular song in it is ridiculous, and I just drove around the car going I won't tell you the song, but you should watch the show to find out. Watch the show just in general. I know if you don't like subtitles, it may be a struggle to watch, but I really would suggest it anyway. Like, just give it a go. You never know. Yeah, it's just so good. As you can tell by what I read out, the characters are named after cities. They're just like code names, but that's pretty much what they're called out throughout the whole movie show. Yeah, it's a great show. There is going to be another season. I'm pretty sure. I could have got this wrong. I'm sure I saw one. Yes, there is going to be another season because it ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. Definite cliffhanger. Yeah, so definitely give it a watch. I definitely recommend it so much. It is so good. Relatable, maybe not, but like somewhat makes you want to commit a heist, or at least you're interested in it, right? I'm interested. Probably I'm not going to commit a heist, don't arrest me. But yes, it's so good. Out of all the shows on this, I highly recommend that. So watch it. So after a long, prolonged time of interruptions and camera stopping and so much stuff, I'm finished this video. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and follow or press the subscribe button down below if you want to follow me. And I hope you found this somewhat informative and maybe have some new TV series to watch. I feel like I listed a wide array of types to an extent, maybe not fully, but these are shows I really like and have been watching. As I said, there are ones that I will highly recommend you watch, so please give some a watch. Hopefully you like some of them, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.